there's been a lot of people that have tried to put out stuff over Palantir over the last several years. And it just seems to me that every single time Palantir has a tangible response to those critics.
The stock market is constantly changing as trillions of dollars in shares are bought and sold every day, impacting thousands of companies around the world. But what if you could choose just one stock to buy over the next 5 years? Our analysts share their picks and why they are choosing these companies. Let's dive in. So Chris, I know you are a big fan of long-term investments. We talk about that all the time. So I'm interested to hear the one stock that you would choose to buy for the next 5 years and why it's your pick. So give it to us.
Yeah, my pick is Palantir Technologies. I don't think I'm throwing away all of my long-term investing principles by picking Palantir. I've been following the company fairly closely since it first went public in 2020. I'll get back to that in a minute, but there's a few reasons why I like Palantir over the next 5 years. And one of those was reinforced to me at my youngest daughter's graduation in high school. And I noticed that about, I would say between 7 and 8% of her class is planning on majoring in data science. Now, that was an area that was not even available as a college major probably 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when you look at data science and analytics, that's exactly what Palantir does. That's what Palantir is all about. Palantir builds custom operating systems, I should say operating system software that helps organizations run more efficiently. They have Foundry and Gotham. They have Apollo, which kind of is software that brings that all together. And then they have AIP, which is their latest artificial intelligence platform that helps companies develop and launch AI applications. One analyst has said AIP could help Palantir increase their earnings by 19% annually over the next 5 years. Government revenue makes up about 53% of their business, but it was up about, let me see here, about 16% year over year in the last quarter, while still growing the commercial side at an even stronger rate. So the company is about the application of AI going forward. And I think the mistake that some people make is to think that Palantir is one of many companies, instead of realizing that Palantir kind of has a niche all of their own. They are a company all of themselves. All of that is to say that Palantir is my original but stock. You've heard me talk about these before, Lacey, and when I do my due diligence on a company, one of the things I do is I try to say, what is the best argument against my thesis? And there's been a lot of people that have tried to put out stuff over Palantir over the last several years. And it just seems to me that every single time Palantir has a tangible response to those critics. They said it was too reliant on government business, but it's grown its commercial business. And as I've said, it's growing its commercial business probably stronger than it's growing its government business. They said Palantir wasn't going to be profitable. Well, now it is profitable, and it's been profitable for several quarters, and it's projecting profitability to grow over the next 5-10 years. They said that now that it was growing on the commercial side, it was going to put its government business in jeopardy. That hasn't happened. As a matter of fact, over the past several weeks, we've just heard of Palantir getting contract after contract with the U.S. government, and those are one bid contracts. Palantir's not even the government's not even bidding against Palantir, which is almost unheard of. So, that's the reason why I believe that Palantir is just a great investment opportunity over the next 5 years, because I think it's going to be in all of the areas where investors are going to want to be putting their capital.
Now, if I said not just the next 5 years, but you had to be committed to the stock for the next 10 years, would this still be your pick?
Over the next 10 years? Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be.
Thomas, do you have any thoughts on Chris going with Palantir as his stock pick? Does it shock you? Do you have any negative thoughts towards this?
It doesn't really shock me. Chris has talked about Palantir before. I like Palantir. I think it's a good pick. It's got good prospects. I think it's a little bit more of a speculative play than I would look for a single stock holding. But I think that this one is on track to become a blue chip mega cap tech company. I mean, right now it's still small, but I see this one growing into the likes of a Microsoft or a Google or an Amazon and kind of that direction.